We're live.
Okay, there it is.
All right. So, welcome to
the podcast.
The podcast.
That's what it is.
The name is yet to be determined.
We'll have it
by the end of this episode.
Will we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I was thinking just at the end of the episode, we'll just cut it right in, just because we were planning ahead, and that was one of the things we didn't plan was the name.
Well, we brainstormed a lot.
Yeah, and then we were just like, here's ideas. And
we never really decided on one. We started the brainstorming and then we didn't finish.
The storm never settled.
Right. Yep.
Is basically the best way to put that.
Yep.
So, why don't you go ahead and start? Let's introduce ourselves.
That's a good
first.
plan. That's a great plan.
So, go ahead.
All right, my name is Aidan Potter. I have no...
That's it.
That's what... That's it.
And I am your other, co-host.
Yeah.
Co-host. Whatever you want to call it. Samuel Impey. Hearing myself sucks. It's weird, hearing your own voice.
Yeah.
Anyways.
My headphones did the thing again where it's only coming in one ear, so we'll just roll with that.
We'll roll with it. Next week will be better.
Yeah, for sure. So I was actually, since I knew we were recording today, I was thinking about Would You Rathers all day. So do you want me to throw you one?
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll start us off. So the way we're starting our podcast is we're going to start it with a Would You Rather to kind of get the juices of conversation flowing. So here it is. Would you rather have two non-dominant hands? So for you, two left hands.
Okay.
Or one working eye.
Oh. I'm gonna go with one working eye.
Okay.
Just thinking about it, if I close one eye, it sucks, but I still, I feel like I can function. But, I use my hand, I just went to typing right away. I guess I type a lot.
Yeah.
I use my hands... Well, then again, I do use my left hand for typing. It's not like I'm doing one-handed typing up in here. Tick, tick,
right.
But,
hunting, pecking.
Yeah.
I was thinking having the one eye would be good too, because especially for me, I need.
But what about soccer?
Well, again, I would prefer to have one good working hand so that I could throw the ball. I'm a goalkeeper, right? So I do need at least one good working hand.
You use your left hand to block.
Yeah.
How often are you chucking the ball versus punting, or?
Even then, dropping the ball from my hands. If both of my hands work like crap, it would be really difficult to drop a good ball from my foot. So
you're saying, you will never be... you'll never learn to be proficient, even, with one of them.
I suppose. That was the other thing I was thinking about, too, when I was concocting this, was, I guess you could... people force themselves to be ambidextrous, so I suppose, it would suck to have, two basically non-dominant hands and having to reteach yourself how to be how to have a dominant hand.
Right.
But I think it would be frustrating, but it could be done.
True.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I one of my friends in elementary school, I remember, broke his right arm. Or no, He was left-handed and broke his left hand, and then had to write with his right hand, obviously. Mm-hmm. But then ever since then, he became right-handed.
See, he has a stronger will than me, because I broke my pinky on my right hand, and I'm right-handed, and I just wrote. I was like, nope, screw it. I'll figure out a way to hold the pencil, and we'll make it work with the right hand.
That was the same when I dislocated my pinky and broke it. I was like, I also kind of just used it as an excuse. I can't really write. Sorry, teach.
Yeah. That'll do.
So, I guess I'll have to go with the eye. You just wouldn't be as reactive.
Yeah.
I guess, because one of your sides is going to be a little. I guess I would, but that's the thing. Which side would you choose? I would choose to be a cyclops. Yeah, I would want a dead center.
Center. Well, actually, my godfather only has one working eye right now. He got hit in the head with a softball, and so it made one of his eyes not work anymore. Wow. But he's still doing fine, and he can still drive and all that stuff. So actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm I could teach myself how to be ambidextrous. Like if I tried really hard, I could probably.
I feel like I'm fairly ambidextrous. Like,
I was even thinking about it actually. Like the other day, I was like, what if I just started writing with my left hand? Like, would I be able to become like ambidextrous if I just
would be able to come?
Well, that's another important thing. If I have two right hands or two left hands.
Anyways,
moving on.
All right, so I brought it up earlier, and then you wanted to talk about it, and I did too. This isn't a gaming podcast. However,
right.
we play video games. We're familiar with the
indeed
with the deed, I guess.
Sure.
So Apex Legends.
Yeah, it's the new one, the big one.
Yeah, I spent like a whole 30 minutes playing probably.
That was probably like 5 games though. Or 6, because the games go pretty quick, I noticed.
Yeah, they did feel pretty quick.
Like, that was one of the first things I noticed about it, aside from it being, like, very, like, aesthetically reminiscent of Titanfall, which is what you were saying when you showed me the trailer. It was much shorter games than, like, PUBG or Fortnite or any other any other battle royale game. Like, this... I think it's because there's only 20 squads, right? So what is that, 60 people?
Yeah.
So there's a lot less people in the game, so it makes it go quicker, which I kind of like because...
Well, I think it kind of forces you to move quicker. I noticed that because like the first game I played, it seemed like my squad dropped like pretty far on the outskirts of the map.
Yeah.
And I noticed that like, I mean... I haven't played the game yet, so I'm kind of scrounging, you know, I'm like going quickly, like picking up everything, because I'm used to the Battle Royale style.
Right.
But I just kind of noticed that, I guess, I like looted the place and like instantly had to move. Like, because it was like, oh, the circle's going to close in soon.
Oh,
and
really?
I was like, well, it felt like it. Maybe it was long, but maybe it was. I don't know. I noticed I was like, oh, shoot, I have to move. Like, wasn't like already moving in. It probably was saying... You should move in, and I took that as move now.
Yeah, so they do have the like the whoever your squad leader or the drop leader or whatever, they'll be like, oh, like whenever they like when they designate where the circle is, the character will be like, oh, we're outside the circle, we should probably head over to it at some point, but you don't have to do that.
Wait. So does the squad leader know actually where the circle is, or do they choose? Like they're gonna say like I think it's here.
No, when the game designates where the circle is going to, so they have one of the characters say, "Oh, we should move to the circle."
Okay, gotcha.
And I don't know. I think I never had that problem really. Like I feel like as far as the circle moves, maybe I never really noticed it because I was just always lucky and ended up in the circle. I played for a little bit earlier today and a little bit yesterday, but yeah, I never really ran into problems with the storm shrinking. I feel like it gives you plenty of time.
Right.
One of the things that is cool though is that to move faster you can holster your weapons, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is cool.
It's
a cool feature. I think it's I like how it's kind of like the first. I mean, it's not the first game to say, oh, if you don't have a weapon out, you can move faster. But I think it's the first, like, MMO to kind of have that you can put your gun away to move faster if you need to. Because I don't think, unless... There was a rumor that if you had your pickaxe out in Fortnite, you ran faster, but I don't
think that's true.
I don't know how legit that was. But in this game, that definitely is the case.
It's clear, and it also tells you. But one of the things I was thinking about, I didn't try it yet, but I was thinking about, I was like, oh, that would be kind of an interesting idea, is if maybe, like, you holster your pistol, like, you have a pistol, and let's say you holster the pistol, and then you start running, you can pull out the pistol quicker than you can pull out, like, one of the regular guns, just because I think it would just be an interesting thing.
I think that's how it works.
Oh, it does? Because I didn't try it yet.
I would assume, because I've used a variety of different weapons in the game, and I think if you have a LMG, it just takes longer to unholster that, even when you're switching even when you're switching weapons, like if you're switching from a pistol to a bigger gun, it takes a lot longer to take the bigger gun out than it does to take the pistol out.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about the storm is that you can outrun the storm if you are holstering your weapon. Which I think is kind of cool. So like it kind of like
leaves you vulnerable.
Exactly. Like if you have to get out of the storm, Like, you can, without your weapon, you can move faster than the storm is shrinking.
Okay.
Which I don't know if the other Battle Royale games had that. I think the shrinking was about as fast as how fast you could run.
What it was is, like, in PUBG and Fortnite, because those are the ones that I'm familiar with, and pretty much the biggest title ones.
Right.
The first, like, circle or two does close, like, relatively fast, especially in PUBG. I don't know if you ever played. The maps are huge.
Yeah.
So, like, that, it closes in pretty quick. But then I think it's, like, after the first, like, 2 or 3, the circle starts moving at the same speed that you can run, or sometimes slower. Like, when you start coming down to some of those last few ones, it's so slow that you could crawl out of the circle, you know? Right. Which, that, I mean, obviously was nice, but I didn't know that you can outrun the circle if you... That's a interesting, like, mechanic.
Well, yeah, because I lied earlier when I said I never had troubles with the storm, because I did. There was one game where I was playing with 2 randoms, and we had landed in a place that was outside the circle, and I looked at the map and I was like, oh shoot, we got some trekking to do. And then the guy who was, like, obviously the best person with us because he was the highest level and had, like, you know, all the fancy kills and whatever, and the stats, and mine says like 2 kills and no more stats. So I was like, I'm gonna trust this guy, and he's like running away from the circle, and I'm like, I was like, what, should we? I'll trust him. And then we ended up getting caught in the circle, and I was like, well, this is a shame. So I was like, I need to run quick, so I put my gun away, and then all of a sudden I was like gaining on the circle, and I was like, oh, nice.
No, yeah. That's what's actually funny is that kill time. The kill time's a lot longer than, like, any video game I've ever played. The time to kill.
Yeah.
I noticed that, like, I would, like, granted I probably had, like, really shitty weapons, but, like, I would unload multiple clips.
No, that's true.
And then I would be like, oh, like, because I have 1 kill.
Right.
And
solid.
Yeah, I think I played like 3 games or something like that. And well, I played 2 games. One of them I dropped, and then, like, right as we were dropping, someone rang the doorbell, and I was like, I'm the only one home. So I was like, crap. So I ran to the door.
Right.
And then I come back, and then all of a sudden, like, literally as I grab my controller, I just go down because someone was shooting at me because I'm just standing there.
Right, yeah.
I noticed that the time to kill is a lot longer, and, like, you expect, like, some of the weapons where you're like, dang, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. And, you're like, dang, that's a lot of damage that I just did, because, you know, it pops up kind of like Fortnite.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, 53. Okay, I probably just have to hit him one more time, because, you know, in my mind, percentages, 53 plus 53, that's 106. 106%. So, but
God his ass.
It doesn't work out that way. It seems to be just kind of arbitrary numbers.
I think it has all to do with the shield.
Oh, true.
Because I think I don't know how I haven't been paying attention to how the health works, but I feel like if you don't have a shield, the time to kill is very short. But if you have, like, I think if you, like, the more shield you have, obviously the longer it takes to kill you, and that's, you know, kind of common sense. But I think yeah, like, I have noticed the same thing. Like, the time to kill is kind of longer. But it's weird because, I think it is a majority to, like, where you hit them and actually the, like, range you're hitting them from, too. Right. Because, like, a lot of... the guns are very specific, I think. And even like, within the kind of subcategory, like, there's, you know, sniper rifles and whatever, but I think even the sniper, like, if you look at, like, one sniper rifle versus the other, like, one is better at this range and one is better at this range and one is better at, like, different things, because I think that's how the game... I get the feeling that that's how the game works, because I've used, like, some SMGs and I've been like, oh, this actually has pretty good range, like, this is fine, and then I've used another one and been like, I can't hit a guy that's 10 yards in front of me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think I was using, like, one of the DMRs, and, like, that's what surprised me, is because I was, like, a guy, like, relatively close to me, like, I mean, very close. And that's where I was like, but that was the one thing, is, like, just from not playing the game enough, obviously, I was expecting this to be, like, a semi-auto, as far as just, like, as many times I pull the trigger, bullet comes out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that case. It was like, bang. bang, and I was like, ooh, I wish I knew this, because that was the only gun that I had, and I would have just snuck out because he hadn't seen me yet. Yeah, it seems to be a fun game. I like the aspect of classes, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the different like different characters.
Yeah, like as far as like, you know, these people are medic, these people are like assault, these people are like more like defense. I like that because I think that it just like it adds variety to the game.
Yeah, certainly, and I think it adds, like, obviously Fortnite and PUBG, that they take there is a definite strategy to those games, but I think that
don't be bad.
Yeah, basically. But I think now in this game there is definitely a much more like, okay, well, this guy we have this teammate who can like see through walls, and this teammate who is kind of more of a tank, so maybe I'll be this person who's more of like I don't know, like maybe I'll be the medic or something like that. I think it adds a certain amount of like a little more forethought into like what your playing style is and how you want to coordinate with the team. I imagine the game is a lot more fun when you're playing with people, like with 3 people you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I've only played like with me and a friend and then one other random, and that's, I think like if you have 3 people kind of linked up, it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was playing it, is like, for one, even just the aspect of like talking to each other. That's another thing. I like that they have the call outs in the like ping system.
Yeah.
I think that it's really cool that like not only can you ping like armor and guns and ammo, I think that's so nice, rather than having to tell someone you're like, hey, I have this, like through a mic. If someone doesn't have a mic, they're linked in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like if you ping a gun, it says like, hey, I have this gun, it's this level over here.
Yeah.
Or like this ammo or this kind of armor and this level that it is. And I think that that's really nice. But not only that, like, I haven't really experienced that it's been used very much. Then again, I've only played 3 games.
Yeah.
Is how you can ping like a specific command, like defend this area, or like loot this area, or watch this area, or someone's running this way, you know.
Oh yeah. I
liked that.
I haven't used those at all. Like I do call outs and stuff like that, but I haven't used any of that other stuff.
I think it's just a little bit too quick of a game to be able to use those commands, but the pinging of like guns and ammo
and even enemies,
and enemies, all that stuff, I think, and it works good. Like so far, I haven't had like anything where it's just like, this is like really shitty. It's just like it worked.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a couple things like mechanically that are a little time consuming, like with using like refilling your shields and like or like medic packs and stuff like that. I feel like that is a little bit of a clunky type of thing. And I think at the same time, the other thing is the like ordnance, like your explosive. I feel like that kind of like switching that and all that stuff, that is just kind of a hassle.
Right. I just realized the mouse is right over the record button, and that would have been real bad if we accidentally clicked that.
Yeah, talk for like 2 hours and look and like, oh, we only have 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I so far my first impressions of it were actually pretty good. Like that's like one of the things I liked about Titanfall that is obviously like, implemented in this, is that the guns all have a different feel. Like, you don't feel like, you know, it's kind of like, which gun do I use? Because they all, like, feel the same. It's just, like, you actually know that it's, like, I like this gun. I like the way that it feels. But then also, they have a lot of, like, just interesting touches because it's, like, a futuristic game. They can do this, where it's, like, one of the guns I remember, or I'm sure most of the guns actually probably do this, but you're looking down the sight, and as you're shooting, it goes from blue, so you have full ammo, and then like it goes to yellow, that it's like you're at about half ammo, and then it goes to red, and then it ends when you're like out. So it's just kind of nice because you have a visual right where you're actually looking, of just in your peripherals on the screen, that you're just kind of like, oh, I can see that my ammo's getting lower and lower and lower, and then now I know I'm out, you know.
Yeah, that I noticed that too. I think that was cool. I'm not very good at the game.
I mean, I don't think it's easy.
And
to
it's
be good
like
at battle royales.
Yeah, there's so many times when I'll be like, oh, nice, a gun, and then I'll get the gun, and then I'm like, I'm gonna front on this guy, and then I run out of ammo, and I'm like, oh. This is awkward. I don't know. I think it's interesting in how like it says when you drop in somewhere, it kind of says like there's like medium tier loot here and whatever, or like there's like high tier loot or whatever. And I think like it is very recognizable, the difference, because if you land in some regular place, you might find a gun and like maybe one stack of ammo. But if you go somewhere where there's like medium tier loot, you might find like you'll find like better you'll actually find better things, and it's more worthwhile to go to those like high tier loot places, which is kind of one of the differences that I noticed between that and like Fortnite and PUBG. Because in like I feel like in Fortnite and PUBG, like there were like hot spots, right? Like named locations.
Yeah.
And basically if you went there, you'd find something good.
Yeah.
I felt like basically if you went to any of one of the named locations, you'd probably find something good. And even if you didn't and you just went to some like random spot, you probably would still find at least something reasonable, right? But in this game it's like, no, if you want good stuff, like you have to go to where the good stuff is. Yeah.
I do like also that when you pick up stuff, how it gives you like these little like bubbles that start filling up as like, it's like you're getting closer and closer to filling up, maxing out your weight that you can carry. And I like that just because I think it's like there's aspects of Fortnite that I do enjoy. Overall, I don't like the game anymore.
Right.
It went downhill really quickly for me. I haven't played in probably like 6-8 months. So
I'm in the same boat as you with that. If not, actually I probably have played longer. I think the last season I played in was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So a long time ago.
No, and then, what I was going to say, though, is that I like the aspect of in Fortnite that it's just like, you know what your inventory is because you can only carry 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I do like that ammo's unlimited. There's no weight to ammo.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, like, I played PUBG. That was one thing that always annoyed me, is that ammo takes up weight. Like, I understand it should. Like, realistically. I'm not saying, like, oh, ammo was, like, nothing. I get that. It's just, like, kind of a frustrating thing because it's, like, it's annoying to have to go into your inventory and drop ammo because it's like, oh, I'm not using this or whatever. And I also think that, like, Fortnite and Apex Legends. Do I just say Apex? Do I say Legends? Do I say AL? I'm going with Apex. Apex.
Yeah.
I think Apex does a good job at, like, you don't fully need to know what the ammo is because you just look at the color.
Yeah.
Same as, like, Fortnite, where it's just, like, you know that it's, like, generally speaking, it's, like, pistols use this one, they use, like, small ammo, and then there's, like, medium ammo, and then large ammo. Obviously, there's some variations there. Shotgun ammo, I guess, also. Yeah. But I noticed, like, with PUBG, there's just, like, a little bit too much. And, like, because they're trying to, like, keep that military vibe, I guess you could say, where it's just, like, vibe is such a bad word. Why'd I use vibe?
Well,
military
vibe.
I
don't know if there's a better word. I mean...
Nah, I think there's a better word for that. Vibe I feel like I sound like a dick saying vibe. Yo, I got that military vibe.
Military vibe. I mean, like, it's just that, like, that feeling of that realism.
Yeah,
of,
realism
like,
is, I guess, what. Yeah. And okay, speaking of realism, this is why we should wrap this up because, like we said, this is not a gaming podcast.
Right.
But no, anyways, in PUBG, the one thing that really, really annoys me, or there's 2 things. One annoys me more than the other. The one that annoys me is when you get hit, you have no idea where it's coming from because there's no indicator.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, I understand it's like, well, we're trying to keep a realistic vibe, but it's like, if I get shot in the back, generally speaking, I know that means it's coming from behind me.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Ricochet shit.
But again, it's just like, it's kind of annoying that, like, you just start getting hit. So I noticed that in PUBG, a lot of times, you don't even get to see the person who kills you because you just die. Like, you'll just be, like, running through a field and
that's true.
Like,
that's true.
Hit, die. But then in, like, Fortnite and, like, basically any shooter, they give you that little arc thing of kind of like, it's generally in this area. Mm-hmm. And again, last point is that Battlefield 5, I think, does a good job of that, where they don't, exactly show you where it is because it's kind of a directional compass.
Right. Yeah.
It's just kind of like in this area, but like you could look past them if you go too quickly or if you like.
Yeah.
I just kind of, I don't know. I thought that's the one complaint with PUBG, and also no hit markers, which kind of always annoys me. I get it. It's kind of supposed to be like this like hardcore game, like, oh yeah, like gamers only play PUBG, but it was like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I'm playing a game.
I guess you're not a gamer, dude.
I guess I'm not a gamer. Yeah, not a gamer. But I got that RGB. I got an RGB keyboard, so I think it's Razer. So
PC. See, I'm less of a gamer than you are. Then I only have an Xbox One.
You're not even a gamer. Oh, I have an Xbox One S. The S is for super.
Damn. Okay.
Super gamer.
Look at you go. Super gamer.
You heard that right. You heard it here first. Super gamer.
Xbox S. Super gamer.
Oh man, stupid. So what do you want to talk about? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Are we naming it now? Is it time to name it?
Okay. We have some ideas.
Should I read them? Or no?
Yeah, go for it, I guess. Hit me with that. Hit me with that good sauce.
All right. Well, I don't know. They're just names. I don't know about the sauce, but one of them will have. Let me try that again. One of them will be saucy.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, thanks. One of them will be saucy, and that will be the one that we'll go with, and then.
So hit me with the sauces. One will be good.
What if? Can there be sauce in the name? Can we have sauce? Is it
Sauce Boys?
Sauce Boys. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm kind of feeling that one. Sauce Boys. Let me just type that one in. Sauce. Oh, with a Z, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
2 Z's. Sauce with a Z.
I was thinking like souse. And then boys with 2 Z's.
Ooh, 2 Z's. Extra saucy. All right. So, the first one on the list is boyskins.
I don't know that we can use that. I want to, just because I think it like.
It's a good one. It's a good one. And I guess it's kind of a nod to our I don't know, an inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration, I guess, is a fairly good way of putting it. It's, do we need to explain it? Should we explain it? Yeah, I'll explain it.
Only real fans will know.
Only boyskins. It's a nod to my brother, and me.
Yeah.
Great podcast. Listen to it. But listen to us.
Listen to us. And then when you're out of episodes of us, listen to them.
Yeah, go listen to them.
Because they have a lot, so you don't need to help them because they got plenty of episodes already.
Yeah.
We only have... Well,
we don't even have one yet.
We got half of one. Yeah, so boyskins. It's an option. It's an option.
Boyskins, yeah. We always get down with that.
The next one is brothers from other mothers, and that one's fun because it's kind of like a play on words.
And because it's a phrase.
And yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's like that's what I meant. Let me see. The other one is basically brothers. Kind of a theme here.
Again, brothers.
So let's preface this. Me and Sam have known each other for many years. And what, 14?
Yeah, I guess
14-ish years.
About 14.
I should say we moved into a house. How did this work actually? Because I don't know who was here first.
You guys were definitely here first.
Okay, so Sam.
Well, as far as I know,
I don't even remember because I was 4. So.
True. So yeah,
we were neighbors connected on the back fence, so we lived behind each other. For those of you who are spatial visual people. And
look at this box. I'm drawing a box, okay? So Aidan's house is over here, and this is where the fence is. My house is on the other side of that. Did y'all see it?
It's good. It's good. But yeah, so, and then we just, one day I think the fence fell over, and we met, and then that's how we became friends.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we have a pool. Do you want to swim? Well, Aidan's dad said to us, we have a pool. Do you guys want to swim? And we're like, yeah. I mean, it's San Diego. Am I allowed to say? Yeah, it's San Diego. So yeah, it was cool. We then basically became friends, and ever since then, we've always been pretty close.
Basically brothers.
Basically friends. That's a good one too.
Basically friends. Oh. That's kind of wild. All right.
Just to throw a curveball.
A curveball. I think you put this one in man-child.
I don't know. It just kind of came to me. I was just like, I feel. Well, that's why. It was because it was your 18th birthday.
Oh, that's right. That's when you asked. Well, it was like right around then when you asked me if I wanted to do this.
Yeah, and I think it would just like came to me because I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, we're both men. We're both men. Come on,
we're big boys.
We're men.
We're big.
Yeah,
men.
we're big boys.
We're men.
Then I don't know. I guess it was just like, oh, we're men, but we're kind of children, and also because like we've known each other since childhood. So
right. Oh, so it's like man. We could do like an arrow in between that. So like
how
so
are people gonna look up an arrow?
No.
We actually just put the words arrow. Man,
arrow pointing to man.
Wait, man, two children?
No, so it says it's man-child, right? But then there's an arrow between the word man and child, but the arrow's pointing toward man because it's like the
going backwards. So people will read, or is it like those that Japanese shit? You read it from right to left. Or we could just put it we could put it all in an arrow. We'll put an arrow.
Yeah,
man,
there
child.
it is. It'll be cool.
I don't know.
We can have our drawers get on that one.
Our resident drawers.
My neighbor and I, that one's kind of, like I said, that one's kind of right on the nose.
Right on the nose there.
Right on the nose. Okay,
good luck.
So I put this one in, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll pronounce it like this, and then I forgot how I'd said in my head we'd pronounce it. So I think like pretend spurt. The joke is that we're not experts in anything, but we're gonna talk like we are.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys listened to the last segment,
right? We know a lot about video games. We're gonna pretend that we know a lot and talk like that. So pretend to. Maybe that's just that one might not just work because we can't say the fucking.
If we can't say it,
hello and welcome to pretend.
Every time we just stutter through it. Just hello.
Okay, what it is the next one
because that's what it is.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. What it is.
And that's the name of the podcast. It's what it is.
Again, I feel like one thing. I mean, then again, a lot of these are pretty unique, but I was going to say we probably will also have to look these up just to make sure what it is isn't already a podcast.
Yeah, that's a great point. But here's the cool thing that I kind of was thinking about what it is, because we're talking about stuff, right? And we're just kind of talking about
what it is.
What it is. Yeah, you catch what it is. So that's kind of why, I don't know.
No, yeah, I see where you're going from.
I think it was like...
Going from. I see where you are going from.
Who am I, Cotton Eye Joe? I think that was like 3 o'clock when I was like, oh, what it is. Nice.
3 o'clock, like...
In the morning, of
PM?
course.
Okay.
In the morning, of course.
It was like 3 p.m. All
good ideas happen at 3 p.m. Right after lunch.
Right after lunch and 2 hours before you go home from work. Right. When your mind is right on it, you know, just like that. Like, I only got 2 hours left. I'm working so hard. My brain is just, I'm on fire.
Hell yeah.
What it is.
The next one's kind of the opposite, which is nobody asked.
Yeah, I feel like that one's also, again, like, ooh. I feel like that one, again, is kind of on the nose because nobody asked for this.
Except you.
Except me.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. Nobody.
No. Honestly, I kind of like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, it's like we're not. That one kind of goes with the pretend. The pretend experts, and like, you know, we're pretending.
Along with the next one, we know that.
Well, that one's kind of more like what it is, I think. In the sense of like, oh yeah, Apex Legends, we know that.
True. I see that. I was kind of like giving along the lines of like pretend expert.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. So like the audience is like listening and like, dude, we know that.
We know that.
Yeah, like by the time people hear this episode, Apex Legends is gonna probably be like,
well, yeah, like
you're gonna have to pay like $30 to buy it at this point.
Or people are gonna be like, Apex what?
Was that game that pretended to be better than Fortnite
Xbox
for a couple weeks? Wordsmiths. This one's fun. This one was because
a conversation we had.
Yeah, we were talking about how important it is to use the right words,
and so, we've not done that this episode.
Not this time, but
next time we will.
If we call it Wordsmiths, it'll be kind of like our little promise that we'll use the right words.
It's our promise to us and to you
and to you and to
the listener,
especially your mom.
Yeah. But yeah, wordsmiths. Words matter. Words matter. That's why
that should be the
military vibes don't work. Military vibes. I just want to shoot myself. Like when that came out of my mouth, I felt bad.
So, I saw it on your face. You're like, military vibe. Oh fuck.
I messed up. Like all you military folk, thank you for your service.
We support the troops.
I did a bad one. I did a goof. I messed up.
He's sorry.
Yeah, and I'll be better.
So it'll be the last time.
I'll be better,
especially if we call it Wordsmiths.
Yeah, but
words matter should be the tagline of the show. I think.
Yeah, wordsmiths.
That could be how we end. Just like words matter.
Words matter.
Words matter.
Yeah,
that's me clicking the
clicky thing,
the clicker thing that turns off the sound.
that turns off our voices. Hearing thing.
It puts the audience to sleep. It turns them off. Okay, so these are the last two. Oh, these are the two quick ads: Sauce Boys and Basically Friends.
I think Basically Friends is like, I don't know why that one just gets me because it's like, yeah, we're basically friends.
We're basically friends. Could be more. Could be less. You never know. That's for us to know, and you find out.
Kind of just puts it so like, it's so ambiguous there. It's just. Basically, I mean, like, we're basically friends. Like, are we not friends, or maybe like, are we lovers?
That's what I'm saying.
We could be lovers.
It could go either way. That's for us to know and them to find out.
Maybe they don't find out. Maybe we don't.
Maybe we never will. That's what the podcast is for. That's the underlying meaning.
Yeah, it's not for fun. It's not for talking to each other. We're just really trying to dive deep into this.
What the hell is our relationship?
This relationship.
Jeez.
Steve blows me away every time.
I'll blow you away.
I'll blow you.
Okay, so
we said we weren't gonna say anything that would come back to haunt us, and I feel like
you've done it twice now. You're 0 for 2.
This is not my episode.
It's okay.
Maybe it'll be the only one.
Oh man. Okay.
Is it hot in here?
It is a little warm. It's getting warm. It's getting warm.
Maybe I was just nervous because I just said something.
I mean, we've been in
Are you nervous because I just said I was gonna blow you? Sauce Boys. Roll out.
Roll out.
Squeeze out.
Squeeze out. Sauce Boys squeeze out. I love it.
Maybe it's because there's like no movement in this room, so we're just like recycling the air that's been inside of us.
Maybe next
time it's just like it just gets hotter every time we breathe.
Next time we should have cracked the window or something. And then my dogs will probably bark at us or something. Oh boy.
True.
It's all right. We'll suffer. It'll be good. It's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth the suffering.
So tell me what made you beyond me saying, do you want to do a podcast? Like, I know that's the reason that made you want to do a podcast with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, what I guess inspired you to like think like, yeah, I would want to do that. Like, you don't have to necessarily tell me, like, I listened to this podcast. But, I mean, like, was it... I don't know. I'm just kind of... Like I said in the text or the Google Doc or whatever, shoot the shit. Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're shooting shit.
Yeah, I'll shoot some more shit. I think... I don't know. It's kind of an interesting question. So, I had been thinking... like last summer, the summer before this year.
This one,
right,
summer.
Well, the summer before my high school. Let me try that again. Wordsmiths. The summer before I started my senior year, I wanted to start either streaming on Twitch or start a podcast with some friends or something, and it never really... I was saying, like, oh yeah, this summer I'll put it together, it'll happen, and it didn't happen. So right. I always kind of had that in the back of my head, like, yeah, I think it'd be fun to do a podcast, or it'd be fun to do something on the media, you know, because I actually...
Yeah, give us your background.
I'll get into this real quick. I figured now is as good a time as ever. I used to work as an actor, a child actor, like on films and TV shows and commercials and stuff like that, and so I guess you could say I was an entertainer, and I like to think I still am an entertainer. I don't entertain as many audience, or as large of an audience as I used to,
right.
But I still like to entertain people, and so I think that, you know, even the 5 people that listen to this, if I can entertain them in some way.
The 5 people.
The 5.
Me, you, your sister, and your parents. Yeah, that's 5.
Ah, shit.
Wow, that was quick.
Hey, you know what?
Why don't we just invite them in the room?
Yeah,
that'll
really.
be quicker.
Yeah, there we go. No, but I think I just like to... I don't know. This is fun, and I like to do this kind of thing. I think that, you know, the one thing that made me kind of hesitant to start the podcast earlier was, you know, we didn't really know what we wanted to do, and we kind of talked about it, and nothing really ever came together, and I was a little worried, not gonna lie, because they're a little bit of a potty mouth, and I know that I can filter myself relatively well. You know, I'm sorry, I let a few pisses out here and there, you know, and
he did a cuss
God,
once.
I did. God forgive me, but I think that, you know, it could have been dangerous. It'd be a lot of editing,
right?
I think, and I didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
But no, you introduced me to my brother and me, and that was the first podcast I really started listening to, and then I started to explore into more podcasts, and I like the medium a lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy listening to podcasts. It's been kind of wild, because I really like listening to music, and I love music, and I've been, you know, I play music, I play the bass, and I just love how music sounds, but for some reason...
I like voices more.
Voices are dope. Voices are dope.
Instrument.
Like, listening to podcasts is super rad. And I can do it almost, like, I don't know, I just think that, like, being able to listen to something, you know, over the, like, because music, it's like 5 or 6 minutes. Wordsmiths.
Done. That was just one note.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 minute songs though, and so, you know, you hear so many, and I have, you know, playlists with like 800 songs on it, and I've heard all of them, and it gets to a point where if I'm not listening to new music, or if I'm not, like, listening to a new artist, it gets hard to, like, just listen to the same songs over again. But when I'm listening to a new artist, I like to really just, like, sit and listen to what they're, you know, making, as opposed to, like, listening to it in the background, because I want to hear what they're doing. I want to hear what they made.
Yeah. I feel like Noel Miller. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I felt when you were going off on PUBG. I was like, oh, okay, Sam's turn. But no. Long story short, let me be a wordsmith here and just say that it's fun to listen to a podcast because you can still perceive it while it's in the background. It's easier to listen to and understand in the background of, like, homework or taking a shower or whatever, because, you know, you can just, it's a lot easier to just listen to, like, people talking as opposed to listen to a bunch of layers of music.
Yeah. No, I definitely, like, really relate to that, because, again, like, I think we both, like, had the idea of a podcast at the same time, but we just, like, never talked to each other about doing it. But it was
basically friends.
Yeah, we're basically friends. We don't talk. But no, yeah, like, I was working over the summer, and in a lab, and also like it's the second time I was in the lab as an intern,
Right.
I kind of like, I knew the ropes, I knew what I was doing, and also my what's it called? Like I have like a boss, and then I have like a sponsor, but thanks Matt and James and Scott. Salute. Anyways, no, and sometimes like when you're in the lab, at least for me, I was like, I would just pop my headphones in and like listen to music, but then kind of like what you're saying, just like it gets old, or like also with music, for me, it can like bring out a lot of like emotion. Not necessarily, I'm not gonna like start crying, but I mean like, you know, it makes you feel a certain way. And sometimes it's just like when you're in the lab, I'm like, I don't want to be listening to Kendrick and getting all pumped up in here because I'm doing some delicate stuff. But no, so I started listening to podcasts more than I did prior, and oh man, I binged. Like I just went off and would constantly, like 8 hours a day, I'd be listening to podcasts like back to back to back. And
see, I would do that, but I don't want to fall asleep listening to a podcast because I would be like,
I have the same issue.
The most frustrating thing that has started, like my biggest pet peeve right now in this moment is when I start a podcast, listen to about, you know, anywhere that's not like most of it, and then be like, oh, like I'll close the app, or like I'll come back to listen to it later and be like, oh fuck, what was the time stamp when I stopped listening?
Oh no, you know, okay.
And I just,
for one, I find podcasts that work for me to sleep with, as far as like, one that I'm not gonna like. Okay, we've said them so many times. My brother and me. Yeah. I will never listen to that going to sleep because, for one, I won't fall asleep because I'll just be laughing.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep and laugh at the same time.
Well, so, I don't know. Maybe you could do it. You ever had those dreams where you're like, yeah, this is a comedy dream? No, just scary ones.
I've never had comedy dreams before. I've had the good dreams where it's like happy stuff, and I've had the bad dreams, and then there's the other dreams. And you can feel them.
You ever woke up crying before?
No.
Bro, when I was little, I remember there was like 2 nights in a row I woke up sobbing. I'm not talking about like I felt sad. I mean like I woke up and there was tears down my face.
Ooh,
and I still felt sad. I don't know what it was, but yeah, okay. Anyway, it's going back to no, yeah, like do you listen? Wow, I walked right into that one.
Well, because I thought, never mind.
Okay. Do you listen to your podcasts on Spotify?
Yeah.
Or yeah, I tend, like, if they're on Spotify, I like to listen on it. Not because I'm like a huge like Spotify person.
Shout out Spotify.
Yeah, shout out Spotify. It's just because it's like an easy. I already have it. You know, I pay for that. Whatever.
Money well spent.
But no, if you're listening on your phone, there's a sleep timer.
That's
podcasts.
True. Yeah, on Spotify. Yeah.
No, and a lot of times what I do is like there's some podcasts that I listen to because it's like an easy listen when I'm falling asleep, and what I'll do is I'll just put it for like the end of the episode, so I know I at least didn't overlap into the next episode.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times what I'll do is like, let's say in the morning, because I like to listen to like a podcast in the morning sometimes, most mornings.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll just go back to about the time that I think, like I'll like keep rewinding, find like, oh, this is about where I remember the last thing that they talked about.
Because I did that. I binged the entire first season of The Adventure Zone, and that was the only podcast I listened to until I finished it, and that was a journey.
That was a trip.
It was a journey for sure. But yeah, there was a time I accidentally fell asleep and I listened to like 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
I was knocked out, and I was like, what the? Like, I pressed play because it was, you know, the episode I was on, and I was like, wait, I don't remember finishing. Oh, what the hell? And then it was, like, talking about shit that was, like, I was like, previously, and I was like, what? This?
How did that happen?
I was like, this definitely didn't happen previously.
Well, no,
so
not
I had to,
only...
like, go back and then find this. It was just...
Also, when, like, I don't know if you do the same thing, but, like, when I, like... listen through podcasts, a lot of times I don't pay attention to like what number I'm on. It's just like whichever one has the one that hasn't been played yet is the next one I need to listen to. So like if you know, so that's another issue is like, wait, what was the last one that I listened to? I can't remember. And a lot of times like podcast names aren't exactly what like the title isn't always what they're talking about.
We should put the episode numbers first.
Yeah. idea.
That would help because
so is this 0 or 1?
0.5. 0.7.
No, yeah, but okay, to backtrack all the way to the beginning. No, and I remembered we were hanging out recently, and then I was like, because I kept thinking, like, I want to do a podcast. Like, I've never...
Right.
I've never desired to be, like, in media. I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't want to be an actor, but, like, I like media. Mm-hmm. It sounds weird, but it's like... And I realized I was like, I like podcasts, and I mean, I like to talk. We're talking, right? We like to talk.
It's easy.
But I was always thinking, like, who could be my, like, co-host? I had, like, these ideas, and one of the first ideas I had, this was, like, when I thought I was going to be moving. My idea was, like, I was like, oh, I could be the host, and every week I could interview, like, one of my friends or someone I know, and actually, funny enough, these say pretend experts. My idea was, like, everyone's an expert in something and just interview them. So, like, David, basketball. Like, I just talking about
absolutely.
basketball.
Yeah.
But that didn't end up happening because this is happening. Well, and also other reasons, because I'm lazy and...
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, going back to it.
Sorry, everyone else. Don't get to be on this fucking podcast.
I hate you. I hate all the people that I'm not with in this room right now. No,
basically friends.
Yeah, we're just basically friends. I hate everyone else but Aidan. We're just basically friends. But then, yeah, we were just hanging out, and I was like, why didn't I think of Aidan? Like you said, you were like a child actor. You're already like you're familiar with the art, and you're looking at me with this blank stare.
I was like, "What is it talking about? Podcast art or
no.
So let me make a quick actors. Like, I don't know. I feel like media is not just like actors.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Like I remember this. Like my friends like made fun of me. I'm not like, oh, my first movie. I'm shitty film.
It was good fun.
Shitty film. Suicide Squad.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Like I would never say it's a good movie.
I think we've talked about this actually.
But no, I just remember that one of the things, like, I appreciate films for more than just like it was a cool action or something. Like, I can appreciate a lot of things, and one of the things that I liked about the movie is I was like, the costumes looked great. Like, it just looked great.
Yeah, wardrobe did well.
Yeah, and I remember my friends, like, that was, like, they were all getting up from the movie. They're like, oh, this was so bad. It was so bad. And I was like, yeah, it was bad, but, I mean, the one, like, qualifying thing to me is, like, for one, it was pretty entertaining, or fairly entertaining. Like, if you're not paying attention too closely. Yeah,
as far as, like, the DC movies goes, it was definitely, like, the most comedic of, like, I mean, like, the new DC movies, like, how like, DC's trying to, like, they're trying to compete with Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that Suicide Squad was really the first one where they got they really tried to balance the comedy and the action and the kind of, like, the comedy and the darkness that is...
We can talk about that later.
Yeah, probably. This is going to be
another point. Yeah, that's going to... We're diving
episode
too
2.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 2.
Sneak peek, episode 2.
Right now. So, no, what I was going to just say is that, like, I've always appreciated more than just the actors or even, like, it's like, I like when they have, like, camera angles or, like, interesting lighting, things like that.
Yeah.
But also just, like, not even just movies, but, like, TV shows. Mm-hmm. Live TV shows, newscasters. Like, I've always appreciated media.
Yeah.
I think it can be dangerous. Again, different podcast. Or episode or whatever. Yep. But, no, yeah, so I was just saying, like, you're already, like...
I know a lot about how everything works.
Yeah,
I know how things work, kind of. I'm
an expert.
I didn't mean to grab the air so violently like that. I didn't mean to grope so hard. But, yeah, I mean, I like to think.
And we drive, as you can see. Oh, shoot.
Well, not anymore.
So I almost knocked the mic off our jank little table we got here.
This is a professional. If you can't tell, we're recording in a professional studio.
This is this environment is.
It's my room, guys. It's my bedroom.
We're just friends. I'm in Aidan's room.
Friends.
Hey guys, I'm in Aidan's room. We're just friends.
We're basically friends.
Sorry. Basically friends.
Ooh. Keep that up. I'm gonna get some ASMR tingles going.
Please don't. I don't know if it's sexual.
It's not. Hey, we're basically friends.
I mean, yeah. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
All right. I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah.
So, okay, first off, this is totally off the subject, but is that a real spider up there?
Excuse me?
On the ceiling?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a whole-ass fucking spider. Hey, we have a live audience.
So when we said it's just Aidan and I in this room, we actually lied to you.
There's a fucking
huge spider.
That's the size of like 2 quarters. Like 2 U.S. quarters.
All right, we'll deal with that in a minute. But
I'm not dealing with that.
Kieran will deal with it in a minute, seeing as it's...
can get that shit later. I'll just leave it. She'll see it. When she goes to bed, she'll see it. Hopefully it'll stay there. Moves.
So, we were thinking, we'd end the episode with just like, I guess a recommendation or just something that we've been into this week.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I think, not that they need the broadcasting or the help, I guess you could say, but it's a podcast.
Oh.
I've been, surprise, I've been listening to a podcast this week.
Goddamn.
And, it's really interesting because they talk about a lot of things that I've always been interested in.
Uh-huh.
And you only ever hear about it from either, I'll just tell you what it is. It's, I almost said podcast that it's not what it is. Ono, Ross, and Carrie.
Oh, yeah, you've told me about them.
Yeah, and, like, so what they do is, like, they go and join, like, a cult, or they go and, like, experience, like, spiritualities, or just fringe things, right? And, so, like, I've been listening to them a lot, and it's interesting to me because they actually go and experience it, and they from the pod or the episodes I've been listening to, they're pretty objective, and they also don't mean to be like it's comedic, but it's not like a strict comedy. They're not making fun of people like, oh my gosh, this person's an idiot, they believe in UFOs.
Right.
But like when someone does make an outlandish claim that can't be backed up,
right,
it's kind of hard to not, like, they're making fun of themselves at that point.
Yeah, so they give them pushback. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's just it's pretty good. Check it out. I listened to they went to a alien convention. I listened to one where what was the one after the alien convention that I listened to?
Don't ask me.
Whatever. Well, the one I'm listening to right now, Scientology.
Hey, that's
interesting stuff.
That's a doozy.
That one does a lot of making fun of itself.
Oh,
I'll just say
that one is a joke.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry. Can we edit that out? That one's gonna get me.
Don't come at me, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, I love you. You're a phenomenal actor and a wonderful man, I think.
I like how we just assume Tom Cruise will be well, shoot high, right? Okay,
look, here's the thing. Scientology, they got their fingers everywhere. So like we say the word Scientology, the NSA, like they're in. Yeah,
is it you?
It's the fucking spider. It's the Scientology spider. They're spying on us.
Yeah, no, yeah. So
Tom Cruise after my ass.
Check out
sorry, Tom Cruise.
Ono, Ross, and Carrie if you're into if you want to check out another podcast. And it's kind of funny how I'm telling you to check out another podcast on our podcast.
Again, listen to all our episodes.
Listen to us.
And then when you run out, because there's not going to be a lot of episodes of us, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
For now. So, and then later, when this one's done, and you listen to the second one.
Get it done.
Then you can listen to Ono, Ross, and Carrie. You're going to have to spell Ono, Ross, and Carrie for me later, because I'm going to want to look them up, and I tried just now, and I didn't.
Oh, no. O-H space.
Ah, fuck.
N-O.
That's what I missed, the H. I just went O-N-O, and nothing came up. Spotify didn't like that one.
I can spell Ross. Carrie is going to be struggle. C-A-R-R...
E-Y?
I-E? I think I-E.
Ooh, edgy.
Ross is if you guys need help with that one.
It's R-A-W-S.
Rouse.
Sauce Boys.
Sauce Boys.
Sauce Boys with a Ross boy.
All right, Sauce Boys out. That's it. That's a wrap.
Words matter.
Words matter.